Welcome to my drone video channel. In this 10-minute video we feature the DJI Spark flying at the Riverview Metro Park in South Madison, Ohio. And here we're taking off in a little picnic area that they have in the park that's close to the Grand River, and what you're looking at right now is the remains of a bridge that spanned the Grand River. You see the central supporting stanchion in the center there. That's all comprised of cut rocks fitted together with, I guess, those little holes that you see on the side there were for moving around them, getting them in place. But you know, the part that you saw on shore where I took off, this part here in the center of the river, and if you look across the river at the other side, you'll see what remains of the part on the other side, and we're going to fly over there. You'll see a little bit of it. Oddly enough, the part inside the river, the Grand River, has held up the best. Here you can see the part on the far side of the river where most of it on the left side looks like it's held up fairly well, but the part on the right hand side of the support there has kind of fallen into disrepair. As you can see, the different slabs of rock have fallen down. I think that's been caused by, you know, continuous flooding. This river floods very badly in the springtime, sometimes, you know, rising 8 or 10 feet, and it just, you know, really wipes things out. But this central support here that you see looks pretty good for something that was made back in the 1800s. You can see me in my blue jacket. This day, I think it was the 17th of November that I shot this. It was about 45 degrees. The sun was out, and there was very little wind. I thought there's not going to be too many more days like this to come out and fly. So we took the little Spark, which is you know, very easy to transport and, you know, small, and it's a nice does a nice job here. We're flying up the Grand River, and on the side of the river you see these shale cliffs. I'm not 100% sure on this fact, but I was told one time to form shale cliffs takes something on the order of 1,000 years an inch or something like that. So we're looking at quite a few years of history there. We raised up, you can see some outcroppings of the shale sticking out there, and some of the vegetation that's up towards the top. And you can imagine how long it took for this Grand River to cut down through those layers of shale to make this little valley that you see here. And we're just going to continue rotating here. You can see that most of the trees, at least the deciduous trees, the ones with leaves on them, all the leaves have pretty much fallen off, and the only trees, there's some trees in the background there that you can see still have some leaves left on them, but we've already had frosts and snows in the area, so not going to see too much in the way of trees except for the evergreens. And we're just panning past the part of the picnic area of the park. The bridge that you see in the background there is a bridge. It's Route 528, which goes between Madison and goes south, and there's a school bus over the top of it. That bridge was built by a construction company out of Cleveland back in about 1911, I believe. So we're kind of moseying our way down here. You'll see there's trees and branches along the side here. There's also wires right above me here, which I'm staying low to keep underneath. The water's flowing fairly nicely. The water temperature here is about 40 degrees. This Grand River runs into Lake Erie. Lake Erie's temperature on this day was 51 degrees, but since this river is so shallow at this time of the year, especially, it cools off a lot faster than the lake does, except for on the extreme west side of Lake Erie. They're already down to close to 40 degrees there because it's so shallow. We're coming up on the central support here, and you can see markings on there that show how many feet it is above flood level. And I was here earlier in the year when it was flooding, and it was 8 foot above flood level. This green area that you see and the pathway that you see there in front of you leads to another park that's on the other side of the river called Hidden Valley. And if you look back through my video lists, you'll see a few videos that I did on the Hidden Valley Park that's also located in this area, and it shows another part of the Grand River. You can see a nice reflection now of the sky, the blue sky with some white clouds in it right in the water. I had a polarizing filter on the DJI Spark's camera, and I was hoping to be able to see better into the river itself to shoot some video down, but with the brightness of the sky, it really didn't lend itself to that until I turn around and start coming back down the other way. Then you'll be able to see perhaps a little bit into the bottom of the river, which is, of course, as you can see here, all these flat pieces of rock. It's all shale pieces that have broken off and fallen down from the side of those cliffs. And of course, this whole area is pretty much based on shale, but we're getting here closer to the bank. I was monitoring this while I was flying along in my viewing device, which I use with the Spark. I use a Galaxy Note 4 cell phone. It's got a little bit bigger screen, but you can see a little bit down, and you can see some of the sections of shale on the river floor. We're coming up to some areas here where water's running a little bit quick, and as I said, I was kind of keeping my eyes on the sides of the river there and the bushes to see if I would see any wildlife. The only thing I really saw on my way down to the shore was a feral cat, a gray and white cat, and it took one look at me and took off back into the deeper cover that it was going that it was hiding in. So here now we're going back downstream or downriver, and again we have the reflection of the blue sky and the clouds. Kind of point my gimbal down here a little bit just to see if I can see the bottom. There you can see a little bit of the floor, and it's all basically broken up pieces of shale, flat pieces, and there have been buildings. I live real close to a Frank Lloyd Wright designed home that uses a lot of local shale in its building and sandstone. So you see me standing over there in the blue along the side of the bank and coming up to some running water over here. But this is a nice little park, and this part here is not the main portion. The main portion of the park where you saw the sign has a pavilion and all that, and we're getting ready to land here. But this basically shows a little picnic table, fireplace area, and nice little getaway spot to just enjoy yourself on a nice day. So I hope you enjoyed this short 10-minute video. We're gonna sneak up on this picnic table and land on it. Thanks for stopping by and watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're so inclined, and again, thanks for stopping by and watching the video. We try to get one up once a week, but with the bad weather coming up, who knows. Thanks again.